A lot of people ask, like, what is the generous genius and how was it born? And really, before you get into that, you really kind of gotta look at what we do, right? And initially, above all things else, we are a community here. And that community does three things, right? What it does is it takes high caliber real estate investors, probably much like yourself if you're watching this video, and it puts you on the fast track to doing three things, right? That's scaling your business, building wealth, and giving back. That giving back piece is really where the generous genius was born, if you will. This part of our organization is really part of the fabric of who we are, right? We had some guests who were here the first time. Adam over here was like, man, came in on Monday and you guys were talking about this whole culture thing and core values and giving and all that stuff. And he's like, I'm waiting for you guys to break out a kumbaya in here or something, And he's like, I wasn't bought in, and now they've been here. This is their third days with us. And he's like, man, you guys really have something special here. And at the core of it, it comes from giving to each other and giving to other people. As we always say, we believe that with a profitable business, right, comes blessing. And with that blessing comes responsibility. About 7 years ago, I just decided to do something crazy. I was 13 years into my entrepreneurial journey. It's been about 20 years at this point. But, I think along the way, every entrepreneur can get a little bit calloused, right? It's a long journey. It's bloody. It requires so much sacrifice, right? And at all times, you seem to be questioning it. Should I be doing this? Am I having enough success? I feel like I'm gonna fail. Am I making the right decisions, right? It's a lonely journey. Last quarter, I said something. I said, show me a set of hands in here who, after building a business for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you can wake up on any given day and feel calloused. Can I see a show of hands again about like the push, the grind, the stress, the build, right? The ups, the downs, the unanswered questions, right? It takes a special human being to push through that, right? And on any given day, you're just like, man, I am done. I've had enough. I can't keep doing it, right? But there's something about us in this room that we continue to push forward. When you get out and you serve and you put your stuff down and you pick up someone else's, it not only brings back humility, but helps you reframe and like really realize the troubles, the things that you're stressing over, right? It ain't so bad. And one of the ways to kind of recalibrate your mind, I think, is to help other people, right? Because it really puts things in perspective for you. And so about 7 years ago, I was like, I'm just gonna rock everybody's world. We mastermind for 2 days, and then the third day we usually tackle something specific, very market driven, whether it's iBuyers coming in competition, tackling the financials associated with managing rehabs, whatever it is. We usually tackle a specific item on our Wednesday meeting. And I was like, I'm just gonna scratch it and totally shock everybody. And so they walked in, and there was a bunch of tables in there with about 10 chairs at each table. There were rounds, if you will. And there was a bag on the table that had some money on it and some cameras. I told everybody, I said, we all come in here and we're rhinos and we're to take over the world and build empires and, portfolios and all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, you get to a point where your needs are met so far and above and beyond what you need that really kind of loses its appeal. And today we're gonna tap into that. And so we told everybody, like, what you've gotta do is there's X amount of dollars in the bag and there's a camera. What you don't know is sitting outside the hotel right now, there are 7 cargo vans, and you're gonna go outside, get in one of those vans. You've gotta spend all that money. You can donate in addition to it if you want. You've gotta spend all that money, and you've gotta figure out a way over the next 4 hours to change somebody's life in this community where we're having this event at. And you've gotta film the process, and then when you come back to the event, right, back to the hotel 4 hours later, you've gotta chop that down to all the footage to a 4-minute video. And then we're going to watch all of those videos to finish the day and see what you guys did. Man, it just rocked everybody, right? And so it was kind of at that time when that was the first time we had done Generous Genius. And it was kind of at that moment that the Generous Genius was woven, if you will, into the fabric of our organization. Tonight's activities, we're gonna play a little food connect, right? We are going to dress you guys. We're gonna have chefs, right? That would be the caterer, the restaurant, the chefs who have extra food. And then we're going to have the Food Connect employees that need to get the food and take it back to the people that need it, right? As you can see, we have some props for you guys. I particularly like the one on the left with the big yellow smiley face. You will be bouncing up and down on that in short time, okay? And there are 5 lanes, 5 competitors in each race. So in each race or lane, we will have a chef, right? And we will have a Food Connect employee. Everybody with me so far? Good, I didn't think so, don't worry about it. We'll explain it again after dinner. We've done this once before. And so we will have a $500 minimum to nominate a chef or a Food Connect teammate, okay? We will have several heats of 5. So again, 5 lanes in a race. We will probably do like 5 races. Every single penny that goes to CG sponsored charities, we document it. Everything that comes in as we make the distributions, everything is screenshot, it is put on our Facebook page. You will see it every single step of the way. From that point on, we really kind of took on, made it one of our strategic objectives, right? Where you're really defining who you are, what you stand for, what you stand against as an organization. We believe that with a profitable business comes blessing, and with blessing comes responsibility. And our way of exercising that responsibility became the Generous Genius.
Life is so much bigger than just accumulating a stack of physical assets and looking on your computer screen and seeing a bunch of pixels that tell you you're rich. We will try to help you remember that.
For a long time, we kind of messed around with this, and we'd raise 100 to 120 grand each year. And about a year ago or so, a gentleman who's been in our organization for about 6 years, Dave Pearchin, rock star, great guy, big heart, out of Columbus, Ohio, came to me and said, Jason, you need some help, man. He's like, Generous Genius is cool, but we need to take it to the next level and you need some help. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you're right. And so we kind of teamed up, and the first thing he did was challenge me. He said, let's quit messing around with this, $100,000, $125,000 a year. Let's double up. We've messed around with this and played small for the last 5 or 6 years. Dave had that challenging conversation with me last year. So let's take this thing to the next level. It was a little bit scary at first, right? We usually do 110 to 120 grand a year, and we decided to double up on it, right? We want to cross the 250 mark. And of course, I was like typical entrepreneur, yeah, let's do it, And then of course, I kind of reached a point where I was like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this, right? How are we going to double what we normally do? And so here we are, a first full year after that, and we just came off of an event. We raised about $275,000. And the cool part about Generous Genius is it's not just the raising of money. We raise that money and we deploy that money, and then we actually, in many cases, are the folks who are really making the end vision come to life, if you will. And so
the biggest thing is these families should not have to worry about giving their children the quality of life that they truly deserve. I mean, we're talking a gait trainer to help their kid walk, a communication device to help them communicate with the outside world, therapy appointments, like Theodore and Oliver, to help get their bodies moving at a very young age. So those are just a few examples, and we truly do want to thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts for believing in our foundation. Like, we cannot say thank you enough.
We built homes for families in Mexico, which would never ever probably had a home prior to us showing up.
One of the charities that we sponsor is called YMAM, and one of our members has been a big part of that, Scott Myers, for quite some time. We went down there to Mexico, inside of Mexico, and we donated the money to pay for our members' trips, except the only thing they had to pay for was their plane ticket. We donated the money to build 2 houses for families that really lived in a magnitude of poverty that's difficult to understand or even embrace until you get on the ground there.
The homes that these people live in, it's as if you took 4 pegs, right, or big wooden posts, put them in a 10 by 10 square and wrapped plastic around it.
The cool part about it is we raised the money, we deployed the capital, we provided the manpower, built 2 houses. The kind of the benefits beyond that was not just blessing that family, but serving together as a collective genius community. And more importantly, a lot of those members, they brought their kids. And so to give their children who take so much for granted, for example, being born here in America, a dose of humility, while at the same time creating an environment where their children can see them leading by example. It's just cool stuff,
I got the incredible privilege of, on the last day when everybody was there doing the finishing touches, my son Bubba helped build a chair for this family, and they're asking the sweetest questions, but where's their kitchen? Where do they eat? And I'm like, this will be the first kitchen, this will be the first table that they've ever sat at as a family.
It's just an awesome vehicle that's really become a neat part of our organization. if you're here and you're watching this now and you have an interest in Generous Genius and really, it's one thing to be an entrepreneur that you make money, you have a successful business, right? But that's really, it's so one-dimensional. And if you're looking for an opportunity to kind of get rid of that calloused hand that's built that business for so long, in addition to continuing to grow your business, come check us out. It's super low key. You can, who knows, this video will probably be posted all over the place, but I'm sure you're a smart person. There's a link or a button around here somewhere. Check us out, or there might, depending upon where it's at, there might be a button to donate to the Generous Genius. It's completely transparent. When we disseminate capital to different charities, it's always screenshotted and shared with our members and the public. We're looking for good people that are also talented investors, and we'd love to jump on the horn and have a conversation with you after once you fill out an application, and you can go from there.